In this video, I'll show you how to make fruit moonshine from kiwi. I have approximately 10 kilograms of kiwi pulp. They've slightly gone a bit bad, so they can be peeled off quite easily. This pulp needs to be thoroughly mashed up, so that everything ferments completely and well. You will also need about 20 liters of warm settled water, approximately 5 kilograms of sugar, and around 100 grams of dry yeast, or 200 grams of regular brewing yeast. First, we need to measure out 5 kilograms of sugar using a measuring cup and dissolve it in 20 liters of warm water. Next, we need to activate the dry yeast. For this, we'll take the sweet warm water that we've prepared and add the dry yeast at a ratio of 1 tablespoon of yeast every 50 grams of water. Then we carefully pour the clean filtered water into a suitable container made of stainless steel or durable plastic. You can use any material except for galvanized metal or metal that rusts easily, as these can contaminate the water. Next, we take the fresh kiwi pulp and thoroughly mash it well, ensuring it is smooth and consistent, before adding it to the sweetened water mixture. The water temperature for activating the yeast and for preparing the mash should be between 30 and 35 degrees Celsius. Otherwise, the yeast may die. It's been 15 minutes, the yeast has activated, foam has formed, and now we can pour it into the sweet mash. After that, we mix all the components of the mash well. After that, we loosely close the container and place it in a warm spot, about 7 days. It's been 10 days, and we will check if the mash has fermented or not. As you can see, there's still a little bit of pulp left on top, but most of the pulp has already settled to the bottom. Now I will take a lighter or a match and check if there is carbon dioxide in this container. As you can see, the match doesn't go out, which means the fermentation has completely stopped. Now we need to separate the leftover pulp from the liquid and prepare the mash for distillation. To separate the pulp from the mash, I will take a fine mesh strainer for rinsing pasta, and we will start to strain it slowly. As you can see, the finished mash is already almost transparent and ready for distillation. To get all the mash out of the pulp, I will press down on it a bit and squeeze it out completely. If you have a large amount of mash and pomace, use a special press for extracting juice or wine. I will now use this pomace to feed the chickens or as fertilizer for the garden. As you can see, the finished mash is almost translucent and ready for distillation. In order for all the mash to come out of the pulp, I will lightly press it from above and squeeze it out completely. If you have a large amount of mash and pulp, then use a special press for squeezing out juice or wine. I'm now using this pomace to feed the chickens or as fertilizer for the garden. I have found that the chickens absolutely love this nutritious and delicious treat and eat it all up. They consume every last bit of it with great enthusiasm. I don't think the drunk ones will. After we carefully close the container, we make sure to seal it very tightly to ensure that nothing can escape or enter, maintaining the integrity of its contents. this type of distillation apparatus, I'm distilling the mash into moonshine. Here we have this concrete part, although it's aluminum. I plan to make it out of stainless steel in the future. The pot still, which is traditionally crafted, is made in the form of a regular 700-gram jar. A sturdy frame with bolts is used to ensure that the lid fits tightly and securely against the concrete structure. And this is a glass heat exchanger, designed for optimal performance. This is a laboratory coil, typically used in laboratories for the purpose of effectively and efficiently distilling pure water. And the finished moonshine will drip down. Let's wait for the mash to heat up to a boil. The mash has boiled, and the first drops of the moonshine are starting to flow into the bottle. I'm going to drain the first 200 grams, because they are the most harmful in this process, approximately, as they are extremely and potentially harmful. They have an unpleasant smell. It smells almost like acetone, which is a common solvent. So therefore, I am carefully draining it for either rubbing purposes or to start a fire. It's very good moonshine. It can only be used outside. Although it's clean, it has an unpleasant smell. This is the moonshine called purfied. Although it has a normal smell, and the smell of sugar is much worse, but we won't be drinking it, and its strength is also around 70 degrees. Here, the main part of the moonshine has been distilled. Let's check its strength. We place the hydrometer here. Let's determine it. The hydrometer shows approximately 58 degrees. It needs to be diluted with more purified, bottled water, carefully. We're also using a stainless steel bucket to avoid any oxidation. First, we pour a little bit of purified bottled water in here, and then we gradually and gently add the strong moonshine, slowly and carefully. We thoroughly mix the ingredients together, ensuring they are well combined, and then proceed to carefully assess the potency and strength of this homemade moonshine, making sure it meets our quality standards. As you can see, the strength of the moonshine is now 45 degrees. That's exactly what we needed. Now we pour in the moonshine from the bottle so it can steep and become smoother. Fondue absolutely loves you. And always remember, fondue loves you.